Okay, so today we're going to have a look at the bay parking exercise. Okay, and we're going to use one of these bays that we've got along here on the left, and the idea is that we drive forwards, we turn out to a slight angle, and then we reverse back and then turn and end up in the bay facing forwards, so we can drive out of the bay. Okay, not like we've got a red car up ahead which has gone forwards into the bay.
Yeah.
So do you know why it's not as safe to go forwards into a bay than reversing into a bay? What the reason is why it's better to reverse in?
I guess because then they've got to reverse out and there's more likely to be hazards reversing out.
So if you had a van or large vehicle either side of that red car,
Oh yeah.
when would you be actually able to see anything coming up and down the car park?
Not until you're beyond.
Until you're out, possibly before you hit something.
Yeah.
So that's why it's always been that you reverse into the bay. We do now on test have going forwards because they've recognised that there is a need for people to be able to not so much drive forwards in, be able to be reverse out again safely, which is why it's now on test, but it's still not the best way they've recognised to park. It's always reverse in and forwards out, which is what we're going to look at. Okay, so we're going to run through it several times. I'm going to sort of teach you using the pedals and to show you the references we're going to use. Okay, very briefly I just want to run through a few of the references that we've got images for, just so that you're aware. Don't worry at this stage if they don't make complete sense, okay, because they will once you then see them in actual action, but I just want to sort of show you initially what you're going to sort of be looking at. So in the little mirror and in the little disc, when you come back into the bay, we're going to line you up with the line that will end up by the side of the car.
Right, okay.
And
by your side or by my
by
side?
this side.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll use this side because you'll see the line all the time this side. On your side, it will be out of view until the last moment.
Okay.
So it won't be of any help. There won't be any reference your side in order for you to be able to use.
Okay.
So it's all on this side.
Okay.
Okay. So when you come back into the bay, you're going to have the line as we show here. That's the edge of the bay that ends up down our side.
Yeah.
We use the handle on the car as a reference because we can see it quite clearly.
Okay.
Okay. And we want to line up the line that marks the edge of the bay.
Yeah.
So it lines up down to the bottom or just under the handle.
Okay.
Okay, so if you can see that one, if we were to extend it, because it obviously finishes before it gets to the car, but if you kept it going, it would fall just underneath the handle. Okay, whereas this one here hasn't quite got there yet. It's kind of getting to the bottom, but it hasn't got underneath the handle. So it's slightly, what we'd say, slightly early.
Yeah.
And if we went the other way, this is then really sort of too early.
Oh yeah, I see.
Okay, you'll see these as we drive, but I just want to sort of point them out for the moment so that you've got a rough idea of what you're going to be looking at.
Okay.
Okay.
Can it be too late?
It can. It can be too late, but too late is the worst, because then you're wide of the bay, and as you'll see, you're going to use full lock steering, so there's no more you can do to get closer. You will always be wide.
Right.
Whereas if you're too close, you can undo the wheel. You can turn it the other way and drift away. And that's how people park.
Okay.
People don't know where the actual perfect reference is. They just know roughly where it is, and then they turn a little earlier than it.
Right.
And then they just undo the wheel and undo the wheel. And this is what you will do later on. As you see the line being too close, you just adjust it.
Okay.
So the idea of the reference is not to give you a hard place where you steer every time it's perfect. It's a guide that you should be steering roughly in that area and not any later, so that you can then adjust it to be perfectly
And can you adjust it as many times as you like on test?
We'll be adjusting it. Yes, you can. You'll be adjusting it as you come back, so you won't be adjusting it by going forwards and back and forwards and back, although you can do that. But the idea is as you come in, you'll be stopping, looking, assessing and changing it if you need to, so that The people from the outside will just see the car parking and then just parking and ending up perfectly in the bay,
Okay.
not realising you've actually assessed and changed the wheel several times.
Right. Okay.
So that's the idea of the reference. Otherwise, you've got no way of knowing quite when to steer. So it's just a rough guide.
Okay.
Okay. So in order to do that, I'm going to run through it using the pedals, getting you to do the steering, and I'm going to show you the reference points to begin with.
All right.
Okay. Any questions before we start?
No, I think I understand.
Okay, right. Okay then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop onto the pedals. Like I say, I'm going to direct you with the steering of when to steer, and then I'm going to stop it at certain points to show you the references.
Okay.
So we're going to start in this position.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to use the next bay forwards. So not this one that's right next to us,
Okay.
but the next one forwards.
Okay.
So we're going to go to, in order to get to our first reference, which is where we steer out to 45 degrees,
Yeah.
we're going to come forwards. So I'm going to bring us forwards until the furthest line of that base. So this is the first line that will end
Yeah.
up on your side. We go past that. This bay line wants to get into roughly the middle of this door. It's only a rough guide, but
Okay.
tell me when it's roughly in the middle for you.
Yeah, that's in the middle.
Okay, so we're going to stop there. We're then going to steer full lock out to 45 degrees roughly.
Okay.
But you need to check over the shoulder and around to make sure it's clear first.
Yeah. Clear.
Good. Okay, so now put full lock right steering on.
Okay.
And what you can do is once you're halfway out, you can check over the shoulder again. Just
Yeah.
keep it there.
That's all fine.
Then tell me when you think we've got roughly 45 degrees.
Not yet. Yeah, probably about there.
Okay, so if you straighten up on the wheel, and I'm going to pull it forwards a little bit, just so that I can get a bit of time to show you the next reference. On the real thing, you wouldn't necessarily need to come this far forwards. I'm just
Okay.
doing this to make the next bit a bit easier.
Okay.
So once we've done that, we go into reverse. Now we're going to pick up the references that we looked at earlier. So at the moment, can you see the lines in that little disc?
Yeah.
Can you see a similarity between those pictures and that? They're not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see the handle, and can you see the line that you're aiming for? Is the first
So
question.
it's kind of the only line I can see, really. The only bay side line that I can see in that mirror.
In the little disc.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can only see one, really.
Right. Well,
Is
the
that one
others.
I'm aiming for?
Well, there are. I mean, there are probably sort of potentially 3 lines visible. One right at the very top of the back, you know, you
Yes.
see part of.
Yeah.
Then another one which is slightly cut off, and then another one which you can see fully.
I can only see 2.
Okay, that's fine.
One sort of near the sort of top-ish of the mirror, or middle to top, and the
Yeah.
other one is kind of, I can see clearly by the handle, sort of near the
Yeah.
handle.
And it stops before it gets to the handle.
Correct. Yeah.
That's the line we're aiming for. That's
Okay.
good. Okay, so we're going to come back, and I'm going to stop us where the reference is to begin with. Okay, so we're going to have a
Okay.
quick look around to make sure we're still clear behind.
Yeah. All good.
Okay, so I'm going to come back, and I'm going to stop us about there.
Okay.
Okay, so that should be sitting near the sort of bottom edge of the handle.
Yeah.
Okay, I could go a little further back, and in fact I might just go a little bit more, but I mean
Yeah.
I mean it's tiny amounts.
Yeah. I see that.
Okay, if I went further, and I'll actually just do this, if I went back here, that would now be too late.
Yeah. Okay. I can see
See
that.
how it's travelled,
Yeah.
just that bit below the handle.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just a bit too late really, so I'm going to bring it back forwards a bit. You can feel we're not moving that far in the car.
No. I see.
6 inches or a foot at the most.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we're then going to put on full left lock.
Okay.
Okay, so if you check over the shoulder, just
Yeah.
make sure it's still clear.
Yeah.
Full left lock for us. Okay, and now you can watch that line, and it should stay close to the side of the car.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It does.
And then here, if you look ahead, we're sort of
Yeah.
roughly straight.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we would then straighten out the wheel fully. And then coming back, we're now not so interested in the mirror to our left. We're more interested in what's behind us.
Oh yeah.
So you can use that mirror, but you also need to directly look behind you. Okay, so it's looking between that and the rear view mirror, keeping the wheel straight. I wouldn't adjust the wheel.
It's a bit wonky though.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you know it's wonky?
Because the car's a bit like that instead of like that.
Okay, all right, but if you look in both mirrors, then have you got a line each side?
Oh yeah, I have.
So I would keep the wheel straight, because it's not going to
Okay.
alter if you keep it straight. If you turn it, you might end up even worse.
Okay, yeah, understand.
So we're just going to come back to about there. And we're done.
Yeah. Wow, it works.
Okay. So that's the basic
Yeah.
way of how you bay park. Any questions before we run through it again?
So if there were other cars,
Yes.
I obviously wouldn't want to hit them.
No.
So I kind of picked the line that I could see. What if I picked the wrong line?
Okay, so we've got a red car there, and
Yeah.
later on, if you want, we can have a go at parking next to it. Basically, that red car would then appear in that mirror, and so long as there's distance between you and the red car, and the line that you're picking gives you distance between it, you're clear.
Okay.
It's actually easier to park next to a car because it identifies the bay much clearer
Yeah.
for you. So as long as there's distance between the side of your car and whatever it is you're parking next to, you won't hit it.
Okay.
Okay, so we can have a look at that later on.
Okay.
On test, you decide what bay you use, so you can decide
right.
whether you're parking next to a car or not if there's that option.
So if I say I'm parking in this bay and then I end up parking in a
Doesn't
different
matter.
one, is that a problem?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's how you position yourself in the bay when you finish.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to have another go again. So
So sorry, I've got another
Yeah.
question. Could I just say on test I'm going to park in one of those bays? Or do
yeah,
I need to say?
you don't have to say no. He will
Okay.
just say, right, I'd like you to bay park for me. When you're ready, start the routine type of thing.
Right.
You haven't got to say another word.
What happens if I've chosen my bay,
Yeah.
and then another car parks in it before I get
They
there?
won't, because most of the times you're doing it in the test centre. Once you've got your bay and your car lined up, because you're going to be doing it in this way, you are protecting that bay at all times, because no car
Okay.
can actually physically get there anymore because you're blocking it out.
Okay.
Okay, so that
Because I've seen that happen with my mum before.
yeah, that in the car parks it can, but they will either take you to their own test centre car park, in which case only one car at a time can park.
Right.
Or if they do go to a car park like this, they would normally sort of have one that's perhaps quiet and go to a quiet area of it. But by using this method, it rules that out
Okay.
pretty much. You've also got a learner cone on as well, so people tend to stay way away from the learners as they're
Okay.
doing it anyway. So all of that tends to negate that happening.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, so we're going to position again.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring us on, keep it straight for the moment.
Okay.
Now full left lock. So our starting position, if you think of this line like a curb, we
Oh,
want
yeah.
to park alongside it. So no, you're going to go all the way out, so we're going to come,
Oh.
so we're parallel like a curb.
Oh, okay.
We're going to park against that line like a curb.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was doing my 45.
No, so we're starting from our start. So our starting
Okay.
position is always in this position with the
Okay.
base there.
Okay.
Because when you drive into the test centre on test, you're going to drive in like this, and most of the
Oh,
time you're going to
right.
start from this sort of position.
Okay, yeah.
There are a few exceptions, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we can start from this position. Have we got a line in position at the moment? Do you remember where the first reference was?
Yeah, I can see the line that I'm
Yeah.
going for.
So is that in a position where you would want to start turning? Or does it need to be slightly... Do you remember where that reference is, first of all?
When you say I want to start turning, don't I turn straight away and then I stop when it's in the right place? No? Don't
So
I
when
go
we-
to 45 degrees first?
Yes, but we need to, so there's the reference of when do we steer at 45 degrees. So we normally,
Oh.
we would come forwards, mark out, we choose our bay,
Yeah.
then we get a line. Do you remember we got the
Oh,
line
yes.
in the
yes.
middle of the door.
Oh yeah, forgot that bit.
And then we steer, because if
Yeah.
you just steer right, you could be anywhere.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that first bit.
Yeah, that's the first bit. So,
Yeah.
if you look out the window to the side now, are we in a position where we could do that steering, or do we need to move further forward to a position?
Now this is the tricky bit because I can see a line there.
Yes,
I don't know if that's the line that I can see there.
that doesn't matter. Ignore that for the moment. That is that comes later. You're not worrying about what you're then going to see there at this point.
Okay.
It's purely, I need a line in the middle of that door. That is where I turn full lock right to 45 degrees. That is all you're
Okay.
worrying about, because that will then end up in that disc if you put it in the middle.
Okay.
I'll show you later. Actually, you can vary that hugely and you can still get to that point anyway.
Okay.
All of these reference points are all very basic and very, you can change them for whatever reason.
Okay.
But at the moment, I just want you to understand how this works in its best form.
Okay.
So back
Well,
to this line. Is
so-
that in the middle?
So that one isn't. Am I going to go for that one or that one?
So you're not going for it because we passed that one. So we
Oh,
can't.
okay.
We are going to park going forwards.
Right.
So we're not looking to sort of juggle forwards and backwards and forwards. We just want to be nice and forwards
Okay.
to the point we have, and then we turn.
Okay.
So
I'll pick that line then.
okay, and is that in
Not
position?
quite. No, I
Okay.
need to come forward a little bit.
Okay, so I'll come forward a little bit more.
Yeah, it's about now.
Okay, so now do a check over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, and then do your steering.
Full lock right.
So then you decide
45
when you've got your angle.
Yeah, about there.
Okay, good.
Then I straighten up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring us forward a little bit more again. Not as far as last time. Right. Okay, so now I'm going to pop it into reverse. So once we've got here, always go straight into reverse.
Yeah.
Because if there are cars, like you said, wanting to park, they know you're
I'm
now going to
coming
come
back.
back, so they kind of keep out of your way, hopefully.
Okay.
Now have a look in the disc. Can you identify, first of all, the line that you're needing? Can you see roughly?
Yes. I'm assuming it's the same one that was in the middle of the door.
It is, but even if you're unsure, you've now got to pick a line that you can line up with the bottom of the handle.
Yeah, I can see
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So, do we need to go back, or are we in position is the next question.
We're not in position.
Okay, so let me bring this back.
Okay, now we've got a bit of a problem.
Right,
Is the line that I was trying to line up with the bottom of the handle's gone.
okay.
Because it was there and now it's not in the mirror, not in the round disc at all.
Right, okay, so we've got something else. So we have still got another line
Yeah,
that we could then use. This
Yeah.
is the beauty of this.
yeah,
So let's go for that next line now.
okay.
So is that in position?
Not yet, no.
Right, so let's come back a little further until it's in position for you.
Yeah, sort of. It's kind of not in the same position as it was last time because the handle's over it, whereas before
That's
I had to
fine.
extend it.
That's fine. So this is how this can change, and you need to be happy with the idea that it can alter, and I'll go through in a minute why it's altered.
Okay.
But let's work with this first of all. So we said that we want that line to be at the bottom or under the handle.
Yeah, it
Is
is.
it at that point?
Yeah.
It's much clearer here, isn't it? Because it's actually there.
Yeah.
Before we had to extend it.
Yes.
Okay. So let's work with that. That is in position.
Okay.
Yeah. Just looks different, but it's still the same. That line is at the bottom of the handle or underneath it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that because I did a slightly different 45 degrees?
So everything can alter on this. You could have a slightly different angle. Your reference point there could be slightly earlier
yeah.
or slightly later.
Yeah.
You could have steered and we could have moved, but everything can alter ever so slightly. The point here is you are still using the same reference point, but it has a different view.
Yeah. Okay.
But it is still the same.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so do a check for me over to the right. Make sure that's clear.
Yeah.
full left lock on.
Yep.
Okay. And now we'll then start to park it in.
Oh yeah, it still works.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I
So
straighten up.
Straighten up there. And then looking behind you.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Still feel like I'm a bit wonky.
You might be very slightly.
Does that matter?
No. Okay. So this time we are a little wider from the line. We have still got a line on that side. Okay. But we are a little wider from it. So that would sort of tell us that perhaps the reference should have been slightly earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So let's keep with what we do. I don't want to change too much at the moment. I want to get to where you're able to sort of drive this, and then we'll start altering things.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to bring us round to our starting position. Okay. So we're going to use, I'm going to identify the bay for you for the moment. So we are going to use this bay next to us.
That one.
This one. We're going to
Okay.
park in that bay.
Okay.
So what do I need to do first of all? Which line am I using?
That line needs
That
to be in
line.
the middle of that door.
So let's go forward to that position.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Now what?
I feel like I'm closer to that than I was before. Does that matter?
No, we are. You
Okay.
can see in there we've got the line next to us. We're not over the line, so that is all fine.
Okay.
Okay. So what's the next?
Then I go 45 degrees.
Yeah.
I go forward 45 degrees. I've forgotten what I
Yeah.
do.
So forwards 45 degrees.
Okay.
And what observation do you need to do?
Over my right shoulder.
Good. Okay. So if you now put that steering on. So
Are you doing
yeah,
the forward?
I'm doing the forwards bit still. So
Okay.
have another look over the shoulder. Just make sure we're still in there, and then
Yeah.
tell me when you've got
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
Okay.
There.
All right. So if you now straighten out.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to bring this just slightly forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So now having a look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Can you see the line that you want and where it is?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Are we in position, or do we need to go back slightly?
Can we go back a tiny bit, because I'm not really sure what's
Okay.
going to happen if we go back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say that's underneath now.
Yeah. I would say you're in the right area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So have a check to the right for me. Tell me if it's all clear.
Yeah, all clear.
So put full left lock on. Okay. So let's see. See, we're reasonably close to it, which is what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it matter if I go over it?
We'll cover that in a second.
Okay.
So now tell me when you think you're straight.
I'm not. Oh, I've gone too far. I feel like it's gone that way again.
Well, so straighten the wheel out. Okay.
No, wiggle a bit.
Keep it straight for the moment. Can you
Okay.
see? Yeah. So you can see the line this side. Yeah, it's slightly crooked. So yeah, we can steer that way just to bring it in. Yeah, about there. Yeah.
Going straight. That feels better. I feel like I'm
Okay.
warmer to the behind.
Yeah. Well done.
Stop.
That's all right. Don't worry. I'm going to stop us. Okay. So you can see how that one has worked in the same way, but again, that line was. It's the same reference,
Yeah.
but it looked different again.
Yeah.
That was more how it would normally look.
Yeah.
Okay. The last time, I think
Yeah.
what happened is your first reference was too late. Your
Oh.
left reference, because if you lean forward in your seat, that
Oh,
reference
yeah.
totally changes.
Oh, yeah, good point. And
Yeah.
I think I did.
If you lean right forward, then you're going to be much, much further forward, and the whole thing is going to alter quite significantly. You've got to keep in your normal seated position as you would normally drive.
Yeah.
Okay, being aware that obviously you move in the seat like this, all references are going to change massively.
Okay. Yeah.
So as long as you're aware of that, but having said that, you see how it still worked.
Yeah.
Just understanding where that reference needs to be, The fact that you leant forward and got that first reference completely differently still meant we could still park.
Yeah.
Okay. So how would you like to have a go on the pedals next? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to bring us round? Bring us round to the left. We'll reverse back and get us into position.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask a question which
Yes.
might be a bit silly?
Okay.
Is this the bay that you originally pointed out?
Yes.
Okay.
This is they originally pointed
Because they
out.
all look the same.
They all look the same. It's fine. Like I say, on test doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. So
As long as I end up in a bay.
in A bay.
Okay.
That's all we're aiming for. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to move off from here, round to the left. So if you come forward a little bit first, that's it. And then full left lock. Dip the clutch a little, slow it down. That's it. Sharp steering all the way in. That's it. Then straight down. It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Then we'll reverse back, so we'll stay away from this little red car. And if you want to steer left a little bit for me, I'm just going to shuffle us closer to the line. That's
Oh,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
So it's better to be closer to the
Yeah,
line.
you want to be reasonably close to it. That's it. Keep it straight. Keep it straight. Straight wheel. That's it. Keep it going. Keep it going. So we're cutting into the line. We're getting closer to it. That's what I want.
Okay.
Keep it going. Keep it coming because we've got to go back quite a way to keep away from the red car. Keep it going a bit further. That's it. Now slight turn to the right, just slight as you come back. So keep it coming back. Slight
Oh,
turn.
to straighten it.
Keep it slight. That's it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Now straight. Okay. Keep it going. Keep it going. Stop about there.
Okay.
Okay. So take it out. Reverse. Okay. So we're now going to park not in this bay. Yeah, we'll do this bay because we're just about to line up for it. So we're going to pick this bay.
Okay. Which
Okay.
is a different one to last time.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember that sign.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this bay, next line coming up is going to be your reference. So I'd like
Okay.
you to just go slowly forwards and stop where you feel your reference point
Okay,
is.
so I'm
Okay.
going to stay sat back in the seat
Yeah.
this time, and it's about there.
Okay. Good. Have a check. Make sure we're safe to go.
Yeah.
Steer yourself out and get out to 45 degrees next.
Yeah.
Okay. Go a little bit further forward for me. Just bring it forward just a little bit. Okay, that's fine. It's just to give you more time coming back
spot
for your
the-
reference and everything.
okay.
Okay, so straight into reverse. Now, before you do anything else, now take your time to look in the disc and work out which line it is and where the reference is and everything else.
Yeah. I can
Are
see
you
the
happy
line.
with that?
Yeah.
Have a check round for me, make sure it's clear.
Yeah.
Come back to where you feel you need to turn, nice and slowly. You can keep stopping and checking.
Well, I think I might have gone too far.
Yeah, I think you have gone slightly too far.
Whoops.
So bring it into first. Let's just bring it forwards to where you feel that should be.
I can see that that's too far now. I'm
Yeah.
kind of getting the idea of where it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's better.
Okay. So what I'm going to add in here is it's better to be early and steer too soon than too late.
So a minute ago I was too late.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So early is better. You can steer once you've got 45 degrees out. You could steer straight away and then just correct it, which we're going to look at later.
Okay.
And that's where this actually gets easier
Okay.
because the reference then is less important.
Right.
Okay. So we'll do it from here. So pop it back into reverse. Have a look around. Tell me if it's clear.
Yeah.
Full left lock. Dip on the clutch a little, have a look around again. How's it looking?
Yeah, it's looking good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Okay, then when you
Okay.
feel straight. Good.
Ooh. I did that.
That's it. And that'll do fine now. Okay.
That's quite a good one, and I just did that myself.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, happy with the references and stuff that we've worked
Mhm.
at so far.
Yeah.
So, the next part to add to it it might sound like we're making it more complicated, but actually it makes it easier, is looking at what happens when it goes wrong. I mentioned about steering too early, so we're going to look at what happens when you steer too early, because the way that you get this to go perfectly is actually steering too soon and correcting into. Because if you notice our position, we've got line reasonable gap this side, but we're right up against the line that side, so we're not centre of our bay.
Can I look?
Yeah, you can have a look. See the line right next to you. Yeah. Whereas this side, I've got a good foot or more.
Oh right. Okay.
So although we're only just in.
Right.
Okay. So we're now going to adjust that reference to help you get it more central.
Okay.
Okay. Now you've understood where it is.
Yeah.
We can play with it a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm going to come back on the pedals just so that you're only doing one thing at a time again, and look at that for you. Okay. So bring us forward. If you steer full lock. Right, I'm only going out to the angle position. I'm just playing around with that part, if I'm honest. So, yeah, and now straight wheel. That's it. Okay, right. I'm just going to adjust this a little bit just to make it a little bit easier, because we're going slightly out of position. So if you can steer right for me, about a whole turn. That's it, yeah. That's it. I'm just going to adjust this so we've got the correct line in the best position for us. And if you can now steer left 2 whole turns, so it's now, that's it, yeah. Good, well done. That's it. Okay. Straighten wheel to the right, so 1 whole turn to the right for me. Okay. Right, so I'm going to use this position here. Okay. So, here's our angle position, 45 degrees. We've done our first part. We've now got our bay lines behind us. So first of all, as normal, can you see the line that you're after and where you can identify your reference point to be?
I think so, yeah.
So I'm going to come back first of all, and I want you to tell me stop where you feel that reference is first of all, and then I'm going to alter it. Okay? So you're going to double check you've still got your references correct. Well done. So tell me to stop when you feel you're roughly in position.
Yeah, there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's bring it forwards. Quite a bit to here.
Okay, so that would be a bit early because it's not quite underneath it, it's more in line with the handle.
Okay, so have a check round.
Yeah.
Okay, full left lock, and we're going to park from this position. So what happens, we put our turn on and we let it come in, and either as soon as we notice the line disappearing under the car, or we get halfway. So let's get about halfway. So this is kind of like halfway through.
Oh, I see.
Can you see how we're starting to sit on that line? It's disappearing under the car.
Yeah, it's not alongside it. Yeah.
So that means we would park with the line being under my side of the car.
So we wouldn't be in the bay. Yeah.
So there's only one way we can steer, because we're on full left lock. We can't go any more left, but that's the point of this, because we can now steer to the right to bring us away from the line. So to make it easy, we're going to straighten the wheel. That's it.
Okay.
Later on, we'll adjust it even less as we're happy with it. At the moment, we're going to straighten again back to that reference where the line is under the handle.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I'm going to bring us back. Tell me when that line gets to that point.
Yeah, it's under it now.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to bring it a little bit further back, but there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can put our turn on again. Okay, have a look to the right for me, just make that still safe.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we want to keep that line just away or touching the handle. Can you see how it's starting to line up?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see this time we're all good?
Yeah.
So now you can start to look at when you're going to be straight. That's it. And then we're in. And we're done.
Can I look here?
Yes. See this time?
Oh yeah. Oh, so this time I'm a little bit closer that side than this side.
Probably.
Or...
Probably. Yeah, by a small amount, you're pretty much central.
Right. Okay.
Okay, that's a much better, accurate bit of parking.
Yeah.
But that was by what looked like an incorrect start.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's that correcting. Okay, and the idea is now not just blindly using your reference point and saying, right, that's my reference point, steer and see where I get to. Is okay, that's a starting point, let me steer and then let me assess it part way through.
Okay.
And as soon as I'm looking at that going, it's wrong, I do something about it
Okay.
by steering straight until I get back to the reference I wanted and then steering in again.
Yeah.
And if that's still too early, that line will start to get too close again and I'll stop, I'll straighten, come back even less, just a tiny bit, and then steer on again.
Okay.
And you can just keep going through that process as many times as you want, and you'll end up in your bay much more accurately.
Okay.
So let me have a go at that again. Okay, I'm going to put us into a poor position. Keep straight for the moment. Keep straight. Keep straight. Okay, full left lock. And straight. Okay. Right, so we're into reverse. Have a look around for me. Tell me if you think it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So this time I'm going to come back to about here. Happy that that's too early.
Oh, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
above the handle
Okay,
there.
so we're going to steer from here.
Right.
And I know you realise now it's too early. Okay, but we're just going to watch and then correct.
Okay.
So have a look around. Tell me if it's clear.
Yeah.
So full left lock on. Okay. So how soon as you notice? You've noticed now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not going to be a long side. Well,
Okay. Well, no,
it's not.
we shouldn't be touching the line at this stage.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So we can straighten up.
One thingy.
So now I'd like you to park the rest of it on your own.
Okay.
I've got the pedals, so I'm going to continue with the pedals. You tell me to stop each time you think you then need to put another turn on
Okay.
or correction.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, there. Stop.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Have a look as well.
Oh, yeah.
Each time we stop, I'd like you to check around just to get used to it. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to start moving us again. If it still doesn't look good, tell me to stop as soon as you feel it's not, or if it is, we'll carry on.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm quite close, but I think it's all right.
Okay,
Yeah, and then I'm going to straighten up.
okay.
Go back. Yeah, and then stop.
Okay. So can you see now, you're now starting to make some adjustments?
Yeah.
Okay, based on the information that disc is giving you.
So it
Okay.
doesn't matter if you get it a bit wrong at first.
You can get any of those references wrong, any degree, so long as you at the end can work out where you are and what's going on, you can fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just prove that. Okay, it's easy to say, let me prove it. So we're going to come out to our full starting position. So if you put a full left lock on.
Yep.
So we're going to mess up each reference
All right.
in one whole go. So really make
Okay.
a hash of it. That's it, straighten out.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to use this bay
Yep.
as the bay we're going to end up in. Okay. So first one. Okay. You know the line you're aiming
Yeah.
for. Okay. So we're going to steer from here.
Ooh,
We haven't
okay.
even got anywhere near halfway. It's
No.
still further forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to steer from here. We're going to mess this up first of all. So
All right.
have a check over the shoulder. So now we're looking for 45 degrees, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. No, keep going. You're right, that's 45 degrees. We're not doing 45 degrees.
That's more like 60.
Okay, now straighten up.
Gosh. Okay.
Okay. Right, so we messed up the first one. We've now got way more angle. Okay, so the whole thing is completely different. Can you still identify a line
Yes.
that you can use? Are we in position for it?
Not really, no.
Okay. Where do we need to go?
I think it's back.
Okay, you think? Not sure. That's fine.
Once
I've got a
it starts
reason.
moving,
I've got a reason for saying this. If you get to this position and you can see the line that you want,
Yeah.
but you really can't work out, do I need to go back on it? 'Cause let's be honest, there's quite a big gap between the end of that line and our handle to try and work out, are we in position, aren't we?
Yeah.
Steer straight away. It will come to you. The information will then come to you. You can
Okay.
see your line,
Yeah.
so it will tell you. If you're too early, fine, we can get away from it. If we think I need to go back and actually we're wrong and that's too late, we've got a whole nother problem to deal with.
Oh, okay.
So, if you think, oh, I've messed it up, I can see my line, just steer straight away, and I would guarantee 9 times out of 10 you will be perfectly fine. You'll have to adjust it, but you've now shown me you can.
Okay.
So we are going to steer straight away from here. So,
Okay.
full left lock done, full left lock. Okay, and then just keep assessing it.
Okay, it's not good. So
Okay.
I'm going to do that.
Right, but can you now see?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's better.
well done. You notice there's a speed I'm travelling as well, it's really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to, yeah, well done. So you can do this as many times as you need. And this is what a driver will do. They will just be altering this wheel ever so slightly as they come back. Good. There we go.
Okay, so wherever I am, if I just steer, then I can correct it.
Exactly.
But if I don't steer, then I'm going to have to go forward again.
You need to be able to see your line that you want.
Yeah.
Because you need to have that to know where you are.
Yeah.
Until you can see it, you can't start steering.
Right.
But if you can see it, you can steer to it.
Okay.
And you'll end up actually probably not using references at all. You'll just look at all the information around and know exactly where you are and where you need to steer. It will just
Right.
happen.
Okay.
So let's look at the final part. As you said, it happens if you're too late,
Okay.
because that one's a little bit trickier, but I
Okay.
think you'll get an idea of what you do now. So we're just going to go, I would say, we're going to go to our angle position. So I'm going to set this up a little differently. So if you put full left lock on for me. So again, I'm just worried about from the angle position back. The rest of it we're
Okay.
happy with. About straighten out here, yeah. And say the angle is just an angle. It's not
Yeah.
hugely relevant at the end of the day.
Okay.
Okay. Right, again, we've got a slightly different view, which doesn't matter. So we're going to come back to where you think we should turn to start with. Can you see your line first of all?
I can see two lines, and I'm not sure which one it's going to be. I
So which
think-
is where it's the one that's going to be closest to the hand,
Yeah.
nearest
Okay.
the handle.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. Have a check round. Tell me if you think it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's come back. You tell me to stop when you think you would normally want to start steering, whether that be slightly early or exactly on the point.
Yeah, they're exactly on the point.
Okay. So we're going to go beyond it. So we're now going to steer as
Okay.
if we're late. So this is the other error you could make.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you see now that's really getting quite late? I mean, it's
Yes.
obvious because the line is against the car.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go a little bit further just to make things a bit easier later on. Right. So have a check round. Steer full left lock.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it's late, you then notice that your line just
Oh,
disappears.
wide, yeah.
You can see in the other mirror as well, you're going over that
Oh,
line.
yeah.
Now, which way do you want the car to go?
Backwards.
No, but I mean left or right. More left
I
or
want it
more
to go over there.
Can you steer more that way? No,
Uh,
you can't, can you? You're on full lock.
Oh, yeah.
So you keep that full lock on. There's nothing you can do now to save it at this point. Later on there is. So we wait until we're straight, roughly in the...
Yeah.
Okay. So now we've got a smaller gap this side than that side. So we still want to come this way. We've still got a bit of distance back we can come. So we've got two options. We can keep that full left lock on,
Oh, and wiggle.
and it
yeah.
will come over. Okay, so we're going to do that until we can get at least to sort of closer to that line. And you can hear the beeping on the car, means we haven't got much space behind. So we're now going to stick it on full right lock. We're not going to quite get in. It's all right.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, that's right, it's just dirt in the car. So that's as far as we could get. So now we can go forwards to correct this position.
Okay.
Okay, so if you put, that's it. So you want to get the car reasonably straight
Yeah.
and then straighten the wheel. Okay. So now have a look at the position. Big gap this side,
Yeah.
touching the line that side.
Does that matter?
Yes, that's because we've now corrected it. We cannot be touching the line when we finish.
Oh.
So going forwards, we now need to, and this is the same as if we were really wide and we felt we had no more room back, we would have stopped in this position but further over. So we now need to work out, by going forwards once more and back again, how we get into this bay. Okay, there are two ways you can do it. You can correct it going forwards and then reverse more straight back, or you can go straight forwards and then correct it all coming back. Doesn't really matter which way you want to do it. Okay, most people find it easier to do it going forwards a bit because they can feel the car. So we're going to do it forwards and then, if we need to, coming back. So as we bring it forwards, we know we want to steer left, so we're going to put, you know, a whole turn, full lock, not masses, but enough to get it over a bit. We can't see the lines now, so now we steer it to the right. You see we've got the car, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now in your mirrors,
Mhm.
you can see your lines. You've got big gap on this side,
Mhm.
and we're
Teeny bit on
well
that side.
touching effectively that
Yeah.
side. So as we come back, we need to come over to the left.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to put half to a whole turn, not masses, because it was yeah, half, and we just want the car to start getting nearer to that line. So
Yeah,
about
I think there.
okay, straight straight wheel. Going to bring it back a little bit, and then another whole turn or half a turn roughly to the right, just to bring us, that's it, till we look straight in
Oh,
both,
that
yeah,
looks good.
and then straight back. And again, as you're coming back, looking behind you as much as anywhere
Yeah.
else. Okay, you kind of want to be aiming to be looking 50% of the time physically out the back window as much as anywhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is your correction to the right. Okay, you notice how it's a bit more difficult because you have got to go forwards, and that will cost
Yeah.
you a point on your test. Okay.
Oh, does it?
Oh yeah, that's
right.
a fault. That's a fault.
Oh, right.
Whereas the correcting we did coming back is not a fault, because so long as you come back in one movement into the bay, that is not a fault.
Oh,
Correcting it as you come back in is not fault.
okay.
The fault is you've had to go back, forwards and out, and it's taken
Right.
longer to park it.
Please can I open the
Yes, you
window?
can. Yes. So are there any other questions with that?
So I don't really want to do that on test. I want to do
No.
the other thing where
If you start when you get to your angle, if you've seen the line, if you then
Best
just
to
steer
go
straight
early
away,
rather than late.
you will then just correct it as we've done in
Yeah.
every time.
So if I'm not sure, I start steering
Yeah.
because early
Yes.
is better than late.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That is the key to it.
Yeah.
Often people get into a real sort of pickle when they come back and back and back and back, and they've missed their first line, they don't know where their second one is, and then they know they've got to steer, so they steer and they end up in two bays and they're lost.
So if I do happen to be late, rather than having to do all of that jiggling, could I just start again?
You could.
I think I
you
prefer.
could.
Would I still get a fault for that?
You still get a fault for it. The only issue, see, once you've got back, is you have done 3/4 of it. If you start all over again, you might make another error somewhere else, and then have to. And if you keep restarting, the examiner will give you less time to do it because it's going to take far longer to complete.
Okay.
And you have got a time limit.
Right.
Not normally an issue. It depends on how the test has gone as well. If he's seen that you've done really, really well on the test, he'll allow you more time.
Okay.
But if you've already technically failed and you're struggling, he'll just stop you. He'll
Right.
just say, yeah, just park in the bay and finish, thank you.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Or if he can see that you're not able to, and you were, the rest of the drive wasn't great, it's
That'll
more of a
seal the
reason
deal.
why that he would fail you.
Okay.
But yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. All right.